everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Felicia and today I'm going to talk a little bit about tripods and different ways you can use them. Yes, a tripod doesn't only have to be used as just a stabilizing device. You can use it in so many different ways and get so many cool effects with it if you're short on equipment. So here it is, my 5 ways to use a tripod. Number 1 is using it as a monopod. Now, this is easier to do with a lightweight tripod. If you're using a heavier tripod, like the Benro that I've got, link up here if you want to have a look at the review that I did on that one. But if you end up using something heavier like that, it's a little bit more difficult. Using a light tripod like this Manfrotto tripod here is actually a little bit easier. All you have to do is bring all of the legs together and balance it on that single point. It's a really handy tip if you want to keep compact and you have to quickly set up shots. You could also use it as a Steadicam. Well, Steadicam-esque. It's never gonna look like a Steadicam, but you can use the weight of the tripod as some sort of stabilization device. By shortening all of the legs of the tripod and picking it up with 2 hands, you should be able to get a similar effect to a Steadicam because the weight of the tripod is helping you balance. The good thing about this setup is if you do use it, you can set it down with ease. And if you need extra stabilization, you can just zap that through some post-stabilization and you should be pretty sweet. You can also invert this whole system and get really good foot tracking shots. Just be careful of how low you are to the ground. Similarly, if you're using a smaller camera and a GorillaPod, you can actually bend the legs up and use those as handles. I discussed this in a previous video that I did on stabilization without a gimbal, and if you want to view that one, you can view that one above. Another thing you can do with a tripod is by shortening one of the legs and leaning forward on 2 of the legs, you can get this semi-Jib Dolly thing. That's about the best way I can describe it. It is a good way of introducing a different movement to your shot, and it really does lend itself to higher frame rates as well. Remember to unlock the tilt of your tripod so that you have full motion of that range. Tip number 4, which is my favorite one, which I haven't actually seen any other YouTubers touch on really. If I am wrong, let me know, but this one's really cool. Use a tennis ball. You can balance your camera. If your camera is heavy enough, this is not going to work for light cameras. If you're using something heavier like an FS7 or even something like a Mini, an Arri Mini, or anything that's heavier. But if you're shooting on a heavier camera, you can use a tennis ball in between the head of the tripod and the base of your camera. The weight of the camera will help keep it stable. That's why it's important to use a heavier rig for this trick. Basically, it allows you to have your hands on the camera, therefore getting some sort of handheld motion, but keeping it on one level. It can really help with subtle movements. The next thing you can do is use the humble sock to create a tripod dolly. Yeah, it's as weird as it sounds. Basically, you pop your socks over the feet of your tripod and you can roll it along a smooth surface without much issue. You could also do the same thing by popping a blanket down underneath your tripod. Come to think of it, you can use a tennis ball in this case. If you chop a hole in the tennis ball and you pop it over the feet of your tripod, you should actually be able to get quite a smooth shot. It's just easier with socks though. This sort of thing requires 2 hands. So if you are doing a focus pull and you don't have autofocus ready, you are gonna need somebody to perform your focus pull. And that's it for my 5 different ways you can use a tripod. Now, I do want to end on one thing though, which is something that I've noticed a lot of people, even in the industry who are professionals, not doing, and I don't know, I feel like you need to do it to maintain your gear. A tripod is something very important to your kit, like I mentioned earlier. If you have a tripod, you're gonna want to keep it for a long time, so therefore, you're gonna want to take care of it, right? The best way to maintain your tripod is to reset all of the tension once you're finished with it, when you've packed it away. Make sure you've set all of the dials to 0, because not only do tripods build up a memory inside the internal mechanisms in the fluid head, but also if it does get a hard knock while it is tense, it can actually damage the internal devices. So yeah, take care of one of the greatest assets to your kit, the humble tripod. Anyway, if you enjoyed that video, please remember to give it a big fat thumbs up, and if you would like to see more of my face and learn a little bit more about filmmaking in the process, remember to subscribe, and I'll see you next Sunday.